When it comes to cocktail destinations in Southeast Asia, Kuala Lumpur can sometimes seem forgotten. It rarely gets mentioned along the likes of Bangkok, Hong Kong, or Singapore, but after spending time here, I cannot stress enough how much of a mistake that is. I think the world already knows how great the food scene in KL is. There's been plenty of coverage of that, but the cocktail scene here is one of the most underrated I've experienced in a very long time. Masterful technique, adventurous flavor, and friendly bartenders who make you feel like you've been friends for years. Let me show you what makes this city great. Let's go to all the best bars in Kuala Lumpur. The first stop is the shining jewel of the Malaysian bar scene, Bar Trigona at the Four Seasons. Winner of the best bar in Malaysia for 6 years running, it's got all the stalwarts of a Four Seasons bar, which I've talked about plenty of times on this channel. Impeccable in every sense of the word, whether it be cocktails, ambiance, or service. Whether you're a guest in their $2,000 a night hotel rooms, or some random sweaty tourist, it's going to be a 10 out of 10 experience every time. Their menu leans heavily into sustainability, utilizing local ingredients whenever possible, including honey made by the Trigona bees that the bar is named after. Bar Trigona is a must-stop on any Malaysian cocktail tour, but you don't have to go far to find another must-stop. Just one floor above Trigona is Ver, one of the newest bars to open in Kuala Lumpur. Inspired by the flavors of Sri Lanka, the blend of traditional flavors with modern techniques make for some of the most delicious drinks I've tasted in a very long time. I rarely remember flavors, I mostly just remember the way a flavor makes me feel, but the taste of their mango bite cocktail has been stuck in my memory for months. If you go to Trigona and don't make a stop at Ver, you will regret that choice, I guarantee it. Hidden behind a makeshift toy store in Chinatown, in a former brothel, which was a former opium den, past a labyrinth of hallways, you'll find PS 150, a hidden escape of a bar serving an extensive menu of classic cocktail riffs. The use of local ingredients to alter the wide array of classic cocktails is a perfect way to educate yourself on Malaysian flavors. It's also a great place to hide away from the torrential downpour of Malaysia's rainy season.
Here comes the wind.
There are a number of bars leading the charge towards avant-garde cocktails in Kuala Lumpur, and Penrose is at the forefront of that movement. Using fancy modern techniques like rotary evaporation, clarification, and so on, Penrose uses this tech to make simple-sounding cocktails that go far beyond their simple descriptions. On top of just the cocktails, the team at Penrose have an immaculate understanding of vibe. From their suits, to the music, to the minimalist, futuristic decor, the first impression upon entering the bar is that you're in for a seriously impressive exposition, and there is no wonder that they're often fully booked all night. One thing about Kuala Lumpur that makes it a bit of a difficult tourist destination is the fact that some of the best places to eat and drink are in the suburbs, only accessible by taxi. Rekka Bar is one of those places. It's also part of the reason this video is a lot shorter than some of my other videos. I just couldn't get to nearly as many bars as I wanted to. KL is a difficult city to navigate. However, I am glad I made it to Rekka. Another bar using fancy future tech to make absolutely delicious drinks. The staff tried all night to guide me towards their fermented durian, bird's eye chili, and tomato cocktail. Normally when I go to a bar, I always try to pick the weirdest drink on the menu, because if it's weird and it's on the menu, it's gotta be there for a reason. But this just sounded like too much. I don't like spicy drinks, I don't like tomato drinks. The fermented durian was the least of my concerns. Eventually I caved, and I'm glad I did, because man, that was insanely good. Another masterclass in flavor from a Malaysian bar. If this place was in a more populated area of the city, I feel it would be packed around the clock. Luckily the taxis are extremely affordable. Don't let the distance scare you away from making the trek to Rekka. Another cocktail bar found deep in the suburbs in a bustling strip mall, Jungle Bird is Malaysia's temple of all things rum and tiki. The bamboo furniture and trimmings throughout evoke heavy island vibes, and so does the fact that they're open early for day drinking, which I greatly appreciate on a tight schedule. The vibes are laid back, the cocktails are fun and delicious, and the staff are happy to educate on all things rum and rum adjacent. This is the type of place I would see myself making frequent visits to if it was local to me. I think there may be a bit of a trend here. 3XCO can be found on the third floor inside a shopping mall, hidden behind a barbershop. The interior is inspired by The Great Gatsby, and the cocktails lean, like most bars in the area, towards Malaysian and Oriental ingredients. The walls are lined with photos of guest bartenders who have stood behind this bar. The amount of talent that has moved through this room is hard to measure. Guest chefs are a major part of the industry these days, and 3XCo is leading the way when it comes to global outreach for the Malaysian bar scene. And deservedly so. 3XCo is a worthy bar to be championing for Kuala Lumpur's international representation. From a strip mall, to a full-on shopping center, and now to an office complex. Here and Now is part nightclub, part cocktail bar. I usually try to avoid nightclubs. I prefer a more casual environment, but luckily, the early evening vibe here is a lot more akin to a classic cocktail bar than nightclub. And the drinks definitely lean more towards cocktail bar as well. I rarely assume nightclub drinks to be this good. They usually go with quantity over quality, but having cocktails on tap is a great way to get great tasting drinks out in high volume. I would maybe come here when it's in nightclub mode, and that's a pretty major compliment. Two floors underneath Here and Now is Rock, a bar that is going absolutely wild with its menu direction, which I am totally on board for. House-made distillates made from cheesecake, popcorn, biscuits, house-fermented fruits, custom sodas. There are no boundaries on this menu. They are not afraid to use their fancy tools, and they use them magnificently. I gotta get myself one of those rotary evaporators. I would do so much cool shit with that thing, you have no idea. Another bar using future tech to make mind-blowing cocktails, including yet another tomato cocktail that I can't stop thinking about. Frozen with dry ice and warmed up with hot foam, the contrast of hot and cold, sweet and sour is another perfect flavor bomb from a Malaysian bar. I could easily see Rock finding itself on a global list in the next few years. The cocktail scene in Kuala Lumpur is severely underrated, and I feel like I didn't even get to half the bars I wanted to. Do yourself a favor and visit KL. You won't regret it.